Last time on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Well, I don't really remember what happened last time on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire because, we got to look all the way back to Thursday for that. But it's a brand new week right here, right now on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday night at Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, we're on our off schedule for this week, so we're going to have episodes obviously tonight. We'll have it tomorrow night, like on our regularly scheduled night, and then we will also have a special edition on Saturday night. So, yeah, make sure you join us for that. All at, well, tonight it's on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and then tomorrow night we'll be on right before Game 6 of the NBA Finals, and then Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So, yeah, since we don't have any kind of streams or anything going on that night, and at least we'll have something on a Saturday night, which is obviously the goal in our main night of programming here on RVN. So, here we go. Well, yeah, like I said, we start off with a brand new week number 3 in our show. So, yeah, let's get into it right away. So, when we left you last, we stopped where we were at the $1,000 mark. We had just won $1,000, actually. We're 10 questions away from winning $1 million in cash. We have all 4 of our lifelines left, 50-50. Ask the audience, we can phone a friend, and we can switch the question. Now, we can use our friend Googler for at any time up until the $32,000 mark. So, yeah, that's if we want to use it. So, yeah, without further ado, I think we're ready to go. Let's do this. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Here we go. This is for $2,000. Let's do this. Montgomery is the capital of which U.S. state? Alabama, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri. That is Alabama. Final answer. Got it for $2,000. Sorry, it's an ad. It's for $4,000. What item of clothing is named after a French trapeze artist? Bikini, anorak, camisole, leotard. That is leotard. Final answer. I'm almost 100% sure it's leotard. Got it for $4,000. It's for $8,000. How many legs does an abyss have? There we go. None. 2. 4. 6. Well, I don't know what an abyss is, so we'll do that. So it looks like it has 2 legs. So we'll go with 2. Final answer. Got it for $8,000. Here we go. This is for $16,000. We are cruising. Charles Emerson Winchester III was a character in which classic TV series? Dynasty, Dallas, MASH, Cheers. Well, Cheers, I don't think, I mean, when you look at the other options, wouldn't make any sense. So let's phone a friend. Hopefully they know. Okay, well, at least they ruled out the one I thought. Charles Emerson Winchester III. MASH. There you go. Final answer. Got it for $16,000. for $32,000. If we get this right, we can't go home with less than that. Here it is. In which 1970s sci-fi film does the hero live on the planet Tatooine? Logan's Run, Soylent Green, Alien, Star Wars. Well, Alien would make the most sense, but I don't want to make a guess on it. Tatooine. Tatooine movie. Nope, that's not right either. Okay. Planet Tatooine. Yeah, this is... Oh, Star Wars. There we go. Star Wars. All that work, I swear. Final answer. Got it for $32,000. I thought we were never going to get that. Oops, hang on. Here we go. We're doing well so far. We can only use Googler once now throughout the rest of the game. So here it is for $64,000. Whoops, that's not the right one. What would a polyglot have command of? Mathematics, medicine, languages, law. God, we've had this question before. And if I remember correctly, the answer was not mathematics. Because that would seem the most obvious. I think it was languages. Although I am really not 100% sure, so we'll use the 50-50. Okay, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving us with just 1 wrong answer and the correct one. Then, of course, it leaves those 2. Well, we'll just do it. Languages, final answer. Got it for $64,000. Well, we might have wasted a lifeline there, but next question for $125,000. Who was the Roman goddess of wisdom? Vesta, Juno, Diana, Minerva. I've never heard of any of those before. Not one. We're going to ask the audience here, I think. Okay, audience, we need your help. On your keypads using A, B, C, or D, vote now. Whoop. Come on. Why didn't you just do the regular length? My lord. Okay, well, 35% said Minerva, 33% said Diana. So 2/3 of the audience say it's either C or D. I think we're going to go for it. I think we're going to say Minerva. Final answer. Got it for $125,000. Here we go. This is for $250,000. Sorry. White Summer and Asmer Snowcap are varieties of which vegetable? Leek, cauliflower, cabbage, onion. I have it narrowed down to 2. Now, when I first saw the question pop up and all the answers, cauliflower immediately popped out at me. That seems to be the more obvious choice. However, though, that is a lot of money to risk. Right now we've got $125,000. If we guess and we get it wrong, we lose $93,000. However, if we get it right, lifeline or not, it's $250,000. Question is, though, do we want to save a lifeline for the next question? As much as I would like to go for it, we gotta do a Googler here. Okay, so White Summer and Asthma Snowcap. White Summer and Asthma Snowcap. Asthma Snowcap. Asthma Snowcap. Oh, it was cauliflower. Okay. Should have just went for it, but that's okay. It's better to be safe than sorry. We're going to go with C, cauliflower. Final answer. Got it for $250,000. Whoa, baby. We are just 2 away from $1 million. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Well, safe to say we are on our way to winning a whole lot of money right now. We are just 2 questions away from winning $500,000. Boy, oh boy, what a great start to the show. We went all the way from 1,000 up to 250,000 like that. Holy smokes. But it's about to get even more harder. That's all I gotta say. And right now we're just 2 questions away from winning $500,000. We've got 1 lifeline left. If we get this wrong, we'll lose $218,000. But here it is for $500,000. Let's play. Here we go for $500,000. Which of these people did not die in 1977? Charlie Chaplin, Maria Callas, Nat King Cole, Joan Crawford. Okay. I know who all these people are, so that helps. Charlie Chaplin. When I first saw the answers pop up, I thought it was either Charlie Chaplin or Joan Crawford. But it's a lot of money to risk. So I think we're going to switch the question here. Okay. We're going to switch the question. Charlie Chaplin.
According to Wikipedia,
he did die in 1977. Okay. Maria Callas. Okay, it wasn't her at least. Nat King Cole. There we go. It was Nat King Cole, so we would have had it wrong anyway. All right, computer, can we please have another question valued at $500,000? The Italian artist Filippo Marinetti was particularly associated with which art movement? Surrealism, Impressionism, Futurism, Minimalism. I have got no clue, so we're going to walk away with the $250,000. Woo! Okay, so we are walking away with $250,000. Well, if we were to play on, had we had gone for it, I didn't even have a real inkling. So, impressionism, if we had to go for it. Thank goodness we walked away. Woo! $250,000. My goodness. Alrighty, are we ready to start another game? Let's do this. Let's play. Here we go. Here we go for $100. Which phrase is often used to describe senior company executives? Chubby dogs, fat cats, big bunnies, stout squirrels. I'm going to say B, fat cats. Final answer. And we got it for 100. Here we go now for 200. What is the name of an elephant's elongated tooth? Rusk, husk, busk, tusk. That is tusk. Final answer. And we got it for 200. Here we go now for 300. What is the northernmost U.S. state? Alaska, Maine, North Dakota, Washington. That is Alaska. Final answer. And we got it for 300. That could be a trick, actually. Here we go for 500. Well, where was the battle known as Custer's Last Stand? Little Leghorn, Little Doghorn, Little Bighorn, Little Foghorn. Just to make sure. Custer's Last Stand location. Bighorn. Okay, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy. Leghorn, or Bighorn, excuse me, final answer. And we got it for 500. Here we go now for 1,000. Which of these can be read to tell your future? Honeycombs, tea leaves, breadcrumbs, cheese curds. That is tea leaves. Final answer. And we got it for $1,000. Hang on, we got an ad here, because of course we do. There we go. This is for $2,000. What name is given to a golf course situated by the sea? Links, skins, greens, roughs. Well, the obvious choice would be greens. So I'm going to say greens. Final answer. Oh, it was links. Oh, well. Anyway, I don't golf, so why would I care? Alrighty, here we go. We'll try it again. Which of these creatures does not have wings? Owl, dolphin, bat, pigeon. That is a dolphin. Final answer. And we got it for $100. Here we go now for 200. What is the largest state, or what is the largest city, excuse me, in the state of Illinois? Detroit, Philadelphia, Nashville, Chicago. That is Chicago. Final answer. And we got it for 200. Here we go now for 300. What name is given to the area you bowl the ball down in 10-pin bowling? Road, lane, ditch, freeway. That is lane. Final answer. And we got it for 300. Here we go now for 500. How many of the USA's 50 states are separated from the mainland by sea or another country? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to say 1. Final answer. Whoa! Hang on here a minute. So, 2. See, that was a very confusing question. So, oh well, we got nothing. But anyway, we'll start off with a brand new game when we come back. Don't go anywhere. I promise I'm not dumb. Welcome back, everybody. Well, we are about to get started with a brand new game of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Safe to say, we have done well, I guess. Well, we won't talk about the last couple of games, but I think we can do way better. So here we go for $100. Let's play. In which sport are matches decided by scoring goals as opposed to scoring points? Volleyball, table tennis, hockey, badminton. That is hockey. Final answer. And we got it for 100. Here we go now for 200. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Which of these is a popular word-based board game? Scrabble, Scribble, Scrabble, Scrumple. That is Scrabble. Final answer. And we got it for 200. Here we go now for 300. The first director of the FBI was J. Edgar who? Dyson, Bissell, Hoover, Electrolux. That is Hoover. Final answer. Got it for 300. Here we go now for 500. The Catholic nun born of Albanian parents and known for her work with Calcutta's poor was Mother who? Isabella, Maria, Sophia, Teresa. That is Teresa. Final answer. And we got it for 500. Here we go now for 1,000. The Chihuahua breed of dog takes its name from a state in which country? Canada, Mexico, Egypt, New Zealand. That is Mexico. Final answer. And we got it for $1,000. We gotta do this. Here we go. It's for 2,000 bucks. What was the name of the slave who led a revolt of gladiators against the Romans? Marcus, Abacus, Calculus, Spartacus. That is Spartacus. Final answer. Whoops. Got it for $2,000. It's for 4,000. Steven Tyler and Joe Perry are the principal members of which rock group? Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard, Aerosmith, The Police. That is Aerosmith. Final answer. Got it again for $4,000. It's for 8,000. What sort of sauce is a bechamel sauce? White, meat, tomato, mushroom. We've had this question before. It is white. Final answer. Got it for $8,000. Boy, we are on a roll right now. It's for 16,000. What legendary Greek soldier took 10 years to return from the Trojan War? Achilles, Hercules, Menelaus, Odysseus. I'm just going to make sure just because I think I know it, but which Greek soldier took 10 years to come back from the Trojan War? I think it's Odysseus. Yeah, it's Odysseus. Final answer. Got it for 16,000. We are on a roll. Here it is for $32,000. What was the first name of the Italian statesman Machiavelli? Stefano, Niccolo, Antonio, Giuseppe. Machiavelli. Machiavelli. Niccolo. Final answer. Got it for $32,000. Here we go. We are doing well so far. Here it is for $64,000. What is the eighth book of the Bible? Judges, Ruth, Deuteronomy, Joshua. Okay, I know it's not Deuteronomy. I'm going to use the 50-50. Okay, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving us with just 1 wrong answer and the correct one. There we go. Perfect. Ruth, final answer. Got it for $64,000. That was the perfect 50-50 right there. For $125,000. What is the more familiar name of the outlaw Harry Longabaugh? Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, Billy the Kid, Jesse James. I don't know. We're going to have to ask the audience here. Okay, audience, we need your help. On your keypads using A, B, C, or D, vote now. Well, 35% said the Sundance Kid, 31% said Billy the Kid. Harry is kind of like a British name, and Billy the Kid was British, so it makes sense. Although I think I'm going to go with the majority of the audience on this one because they know their stuff. They're the best audience that television has to offer, if I do say so myself. Yep, thank you very much. And hopefully they're right, and hopefully I just won another $125,000. We're going to go with B, the Sundance Kid. Final answer. Got it for $125,000. Woo! We're just 3 away from winning $1 million. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to go for $250,000. Let's see if we can win it all. Maybe even win $1 million. We've got 3 lifelines left, along with the Googler. Don't forget that. So, wow, we'll be back. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. Well, right now, we are doing pretty darn good right now. We are just 3 questions away from winning $1 million in cash. I know, so exciting, but who knows? Maybe, well, we'll see if we can win all that money here. Like I said, we're just 3 questions away, so here it is for $250,000. Let's play. There we go, for $250,000. Which of these is not a Central American capital city? Managua, Tegucigalpa, Cayenne, Belmopan. This would have been great to use on the 50-50. Because I know which 2 are not right. Let's phone a friend, see if that helps. Not A. Well, there you go. Cayenne. That just... So that was a waste of a lifeline, basically. I don't think it's Belmopan. Cayenne. That sounds like a city, but where? I don't know. We're just going to have to use the Googler. Central American capital city. Oh, so it is Cayenne. Well, there you go. Cayenne. Final answer. Got it for $250,000. Sorry. Ads, of course. There we go. $500,000. Let's do this. Which birds belong to the order Strigiformes? Eagles, owls, geese, pigeons. I think we've had this question before, but I do not remember what the answer was. I think it was geese, but we're going to switch the question here. Okay, we're going to switch the question. Strigiforms. Oh, Strigiforms. Well, we'll have to do it like this. Oh, it's an owl. Well, good Lord. All right, well, computer, please give us another question valued at $500,000. Which of these is the stationary arm that casts a shadow on the sundial? Gnome, Gnosis, Gnomon, Gnomic. I've got no idea, and $250,000 is a lot to risk for a guess. So I think I'm gonna walk away with the $250,000. Okay. Had we had gone for it, I probably would have said, well, gnome. That would be the obvious choice. Let's just see if we were right with gnome. Oh, it was gnome, and thank God we walked away. $250,000 is ours. Wow, well, we played quite the game, and $250,000 is ours. So, here we go. For $100, let's play. Which of these is a common term for serialized television dramas? Soap opera, shampoo opera, sponge opera, Swiffer Sweeper opera, soap opera, final answer. And we got it for $100. Here we go now for $200. Which ingredient helps to make a loaf of bread rise? Lemon juice, yeast, mustard, butter. That is yeast. Final answer. And we got it for $200. Here we go now for $300. What is usually missing in a mime performance? Words, music, costume, audience. That is words. Final answer. And we got it for $300. Here we go now for $500. Which of these is the name of a card game? Lager Beery, Wine Bubbly, Rye Whiskey, Gin Rummy. That is Gin Rummy. Final answer. And we got it for $500. Here we go now for $1,000. Which of these would be involved in a drag race? Dog, horse, pigeon, car. That is a car. Final answer. And we got it for $1,000. So, we're doing well. Here we go for $2,000. The New Jersey Devils are a team in what sport? Baseball, basketball, hockey, arena football. That is hockey. Final answer. And we got it for $2,000. It's for $4,000. What James Bond actor once represented Scotland in a Miss Universe contest? Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Daniel Craig, Pierce Brosnan. That was Sean Connery. Final answer. And we got that for $4,000. There you go. This is for $8,000. We're doing well. Which billionaire used his fortune to find an art museum in California? Nelson Rockefeller, John Paul Getty, Barry Goldwater, Harold Snell Hunt. Let's find her because I don't know. Okay, B. Well, that makes sense actually. So John Paul Getty, final answer. Got it for $8,000. Well, we're 7 away from $1 million. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Well, we are on a roll right now. Let's not stop. Here we go. $16,000. Let's play. Go for $16,000. The Eiffel Tower was built to celebrate the 100th anniversary of what? Invention of steel, Battle of Waterloo, invention of radio, French Revolution. Let's see. What was the Eiffel Tower built for? There we go, the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution. Final answer. Got it for $16,000. There we go for $32,000. How are the singing duo Moore and Prater? There we go. There we go. How are the singing duo Moore and Prater better known? Don and Phil, Sonny and Cher, Sam and Dave, Bill and Ben. Moore and Prater. Nope, that's not what I want. Moore and Prater. I would assume Sonny and Cher. Oh, no, that's not right. So it's Sam and Dave. Oh, and Sam just died. That's sad. Well, Sam and Dave. Final answer. Got it for $32,000. There we go. This is for $64,000. Come on! There we go. What was the first name of the composer Delius? Frederick, Charles, Gustav, Jean. Well, I really have no idea. So I have no clue. That would have been an interesting. Okay, let's ask the audience. You think I was drunk? On your keypads using A, B, C, or D, please vote now. Well, 32% said Frederick, 25% said Charles. I think I'm going to go with Frederick. Final answer. Got to go with the audience. And we did in this case for $64,000. For $125,000. What is the more familiar name of the outlaw Harry Longabaugh? Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, Billy the Kid, Jesse James. We had this question before. It was the Sundance Kid. Final answer. Got it for $125,000. There you go. This is for $250,000. In which year did the inaugural Winter Olympic Games take place? Not 1896, 1908, 1916, 1924. Okay, we're going to have to look this one up. First ever Olympic Winter Games. 1924, there you go. Final answer. And we got it for $250,000. Oh my. We are on fire. Here it is, $500,000. What was won by Courageous in 1977 and Freedom in 1980? The Iditarod, America's Cup, Le Mans, the Kentucky Derby. We're going to use the 50-50. I think I know, but for $500,000, I want to make sure I know it. Okay, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving us with just 1 wrong answer and the correct one. Dang, there you go. Kentucky Derby, final answer. It was the America's Cup? No way. What even is the America's Cup? America's Cup. Oh, it's a sailing thing. I thought it was a horse. Why would you name your boat such stupid names? That's what I want to know. My God. Well, we end on a sour note, unfortunately, but that's the way it works sometimes around here. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it anyway, because I certainly had a whole lot of fun. There will be plenty of more races to the top of the money ladder. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. We won a total in cash of $533,000 tonight when we added up to the money we've won so far this season. That is a grand total of $2,983,000. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow night. Good night.